Hi Cancer, welcome to your powerful messages from the Veil reading. This is your girl Mermaid Skills Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me here. This is a general reading for the Sun, Moon, Rising Venus, and or any other strong placement for the sign of Cancer. This is a general reading, so please keep that in mind. To only take what resonates with you and leave what doesn't for someone who really needs to hear this message. So Cancer, I am so excited to do this because not only is this my favorite time of the year because of Halloween and I like to get dressed up and stuff, but because this is the time of the year when the veil is at its thinnest, with this week and a half, it's a very powerful time to connect with our angels, ancestors, spirit guides, spirit team, because they're able to access this world very easily at this time. So I wanted to take the opportunity when the veil is at its thinnest to ask powerful messages to come through for you, powerful, insightful, clear messages to come through for you. And this can impact any aspect of your life: love and romance, career and finances, spiritual evolution, but whatever spirit like to talk about shall be said. So I'm excited to tap into this energy, especially now that we have the new moon in Scorpio energy being very prominent here. I know this is going to be a good reading. I hope you're excited about it. Let's go ahead and get this started. I'm first going to use my sound bowl here to clear set the energy and do a mini meditation with you guys. But if you just want to jump right on into the card pull to see what the cards have to say, check out the pinned comment below with all the timestamps. For those of you here with me now, thank you so much for joining me. It really does help me connect to your energy by doing this. So I'm going to ask everyone to take a deep breath in. I'm going to ring this sound bowl 3 times, and during that time, I just want you to open up your energy to, ask the questions you may have of what you need to hear right now. And if you have any beings of the light you would like to welcome into this space, specific angels, ancestors, spirit guides, passed down loved ones, spiritual deities, you are more than welcome to do that now as we tune into the energy. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath in. And tune into the energy of Cancer. I'm sorry, I just have to smile because I feel like your spirit guides are bringing humor into this, because all I heard was "never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down." You know that song? Comment it below. I know it's like an 80s song and it was viral on the internet for some time. But I feel that's your spirit guides letting you know that they're handling something here, that they're taking care of it. It could be taking time. You could be worried about it. Maybe things are kind of, not progressing in the 3D world that you're hoping for, but your spirit team has your back and they want you to bring this lightfulness into your life again. I'm hearing "why so serious?" I don't know, maybe you guys are going through some serious things right now, but the only thing that you can have in control of as you go through these serious things, or maybe things that you're worried or stressed about, is how you can kind of bring light into it. And I'm not saying it's as easy as, just changing your mood. I get it. I'm a Cancer. But I think it's more so of Cancer, you need to enjoy yourself and your life, even with some things that are kind of not as progressing, and find those ways to enjoy yourself. Kind of call those people that you haven't talked to in a while that you miss, or try to find a way where you can bring something that you enjoy doing into your life more, that you may have put off for some time because you had other things to do, other things to take care of. Spirit just wants you to know, with whatever this is, they got you. And they have it right now as I speak, in the process of it being created. And you are in very good hands, Cancer. And I think that's what they really want to come through with you for. Again, we'll pull the cards to see what else could come with that message, or if that's just a confirmation someone needs to hear right now. I'm curious to see what the cards have to say. So Tell me about the energy that Cancer needs to be aware of, knowing about what's going on in their life, what you want to talk to Cancer about. So number 42 with organization, okay? And it says, purpose, planning, efficiency now come to me so easily. So there's something that maybe some of you guys have been planning on for some time, and it's just, you feel like it's just the planning, the work, and where's the reward? And some of you guys, maybe there's another factor you haven't keyed into about what would help. So maybe there's like some budgeting that some of you guys need to do. Maybe even for some of you, there's a balance of your time that Spirit wants you to pay attention to. So maybe there's like so much you're putting into with one thing that it's been lacking in the other thing you need to have or get done. So, you know, Spirit just says there's some sort of clutter that needs to be cleared out, whether that's mentally, emotionally, or something within your 3D world. So Spirit really does want you to take the time to, you know, be compassionate with yourself with this, but also be very real with yourself. All right, you know what, this day I'm going to get this taken care of. Like, I'm seeing a planner, I'm seeing a journal, I'm seeing a notebook, like, and maybe some of you guys just need to write some things down in order to help you kind of, you know, get the ball rolling on certain things. But others of you, if you've already been doing that, like, look, mermaid, like, trust me, my book is filled up and I've been kind of doing all I can to organize, then Spirit is saying, like, in the background of what you don't see in the 5D world, there's certain things that are coming together that need to come together first before it's very clearly in your 3D world. And that takes planning, that takes time, that takes, you know, efficiency for things to kind of work out beyond the veil. So Spirit's at work. Like, I'm seeing like a whole like cubicles of like your team kind of, I know it's a funny metaphor. Again, you have a really funny spirit guide. I don't know who this is, but the way they give me these visions are with humor. But they just want you to know they're at work with this and they want this for you as much as you want it for yourself. So that is in the process of it. But yeah, again, I think some of you do need to kind of realize what else needs to be planned. What else can I do? And if there's nothing else to be done, know that you've done all that you could and surrender the need to know when, where, why, how. I think that's putting a lot of pressure on you, Cancer, unnecessarily in a way. And, you know, some of you guys, I gotta say with this card here, there's something of a deadline that is out of your control. So I don't know, like, let's just say you're waiting on like a government check, right? And you just have been waiting on it, and there's something that the government has to do, take care of before that check comes into you. Like, that's something that has to be abided by within those rules and regulations that, I don't know, maybe some of you are aware of or not aware of. I definitely do some research into it to see if there's more that you're unaware of why it's taking so long. That's just confirmation for a few of you that there's certain, you know, red tape or rules that someone or some organization has to follow and has to adhere to that may be taking some time. But tell me more about this energy here for Cancer. Ooh, we have Astara with incubation. Okay, so some of you guys with Astara, at least in the Northern Hemisphere, it is the months of spring. So what this is kind of telling me is that maybe some of you guys of what you're organizing, planning, and trying to implement, maybe for some of you guys to have a timeline, spring may be when it's coming into full success. So maybe even some of you guys are at the baby steps of this, or some of you guys are just at the very beginning and, you know, you're go-getters, I feel. And the fact that it's maybe not happening very quickly is startling you or shaking you, and it's making you question yourself, question your abilities. Really, Cancer, this is just all the process. And you have to accept that this may be a process that takes longer than what you're used to or what you've envisioned. And that's perfectly okay. But this is growing. I mean, look at that. There's like a whole body inside this egg here that is growing, and it's growing well. It's growing strong. It's growing healthy. And I think that's part of the work you're putting into this. And to just let it grow the way it needs to. Let it grow and let it flow, I feel, is what Spirit really wants you to kind of implement in your consciousness. This feels like something you want to bring into the world. This feels like something that you may be creating, you know, business, finances, something, you know, adding to your life, or that a project that you've been working on. But yeah, it is working, okay? Spirit just wants you to like take a little bit of a deep breath here. Okay, but I get it. I get it. I'm not sitting, trying to scold you. I know that like divine timing could be a very annoying thing to deal with, especially if it felt like a really long time. But again, what this is not meant to happen instantly. And even those of you, when I mentioned Ostara in the springtime for Northern Hemisphere, the Southern Hemisphere, if you want to take it as, I think it would be fall for you guys, that's when it would be about. And so that takes a few months. So get used to that timeline and do what you can to take baby steps throughout the few months that this will take, okay? So first we have the Six of Pentacles. So Taurus energy, yeah, balance is what you need to do in the meantime. And balancing and prioritizing the right things and not overemphasizing the things that aren't as helpful. And maybe finding supportive people, Cancer. As a Cancer, I know that sometimes we take on so much ourselves. And I think Spirit is saying that you have more at your disposal, whether that is more of, trust in your spirit guides or, some people that you can rely on to help. And whether that's someone you know of your friends, family members, or maybe someone you need to look for as like someone that could be hired for their services to help organize your life better or to help, clear things out of your schedule. Like you could definitely do that. Like I wonder if some of you guys need it, like an assistant or someone that could kind of like just help you like an assistant, right? Just take on some of the tasks. You've been doing so much. You need to kind of just be better at spreading the help, spreading the work, and delegating. Tell me more. Okay, so then we have the Six of Swords in reverse. Yeah, so Aquarius energy. The timing is really throwing someone mentally off here. And there's two sixes. Your birthday could be July 6th, July 16th, or June 26th. But sixes are all about harmony. Sixes is all about, letting things flow naturally to come together as the way it will, not to put pressure. And then we have the Page of Cups. Interesting. Water energy, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy, Six of Swords, Aquarius energy. Bottom of the deck, we have Death. Santa Muerte. Wow. Okay, so very strong Scorpio energy here. So with us being in Scorpio season currently and with the Scorpio new moon, I feel like part of what is adding to what you may think is 3D stresses, I feel a lot of you guys know you're on the verge of something big here or the verge of major change. And I think subconsciously in some way, you feel a little overwhelmed by that. Or like, if this doesn't go in that way, that means I failed. Because of how big this feels. Again, it's general. I'm trying to connect specifically. I know it's not going to be for everyone, but with what you want to create in your life, with what you want to move towards, with what you want to do, it feels like a major life change here. At least very different than how you've been living your life the last few years. You're being watched over. And Spirit is helping you with this transition in the way that they can, in the way that they're allowed to. And maybe that's part of like the rules and regulations I was kind of tapping into about the 3D world. Maybe there's even some rules and regulations in the 5D world that your spirit guides have to adhere to for the betterment of you, Cancer. So, despite the process of it and how it may be, appearing to you currently in the 3D, there are changes being made, powerful changes, and that starts in the formation first until it can actually go into your favor as time rolls on. But you are definitely someone that is a, powerful force, and with what you want are things that take time, and it's meant to take time. So I think with the Page of Cups, there's a, message here of focusing on self-compassion, on, kind of soothing yourself in ways that will help you, then not make you feel like you're doing everything wrong if it's not a certain way, or, the overwhelming feelings that you may be having to this big change that could be coming in your life that you want to make in your life. You need to find ways that self-soothe. And you need to find ways that will help kind of let you know everything's going to be okay, whether it's listening to positive music, whether it's, you know, not going on social media for some time and giving yourself that social media break, to, you know, do the things that just make your heart feel, you know, good. I think that's just has been a little bit of a lower priority for you, Cancer, in the fact that you want to get something done. But the fact that it's taking a lot of work from you is draining that other side of giving you hope and remembering why you're doing this in the first place. So let's dig deeper in by clarifying these cards here. The letter M is sticking out to me as in Michaela, as in Michael. First, middle, last initial can mean something to someone. So tell me about the Six of Pentacles. Yeah, Nine of Swords. Yeah, Gemini energy. You felt very overwhelmed. And I do think like Spirit tries to send you, you know, confirming messages and feelings that you get through your gut, but it's hard to believe when you're in this state of panic. So for a very long time, I'll share this with you, I had a very hard time with receiving. And in the spiritual sense, it meant like, you know, receiving with my strong intuition, like the messages that everything's going to be okay, that I'm in good hands, that, yeah, this is hard, but you'll get through it. Like, if I didn't see it, you know, in the 3D, then I was having a hard time receiving the possibility of that. And it would just overwhelm me. Like, I had anxiety for so long because of my inability to receive. And so whether this is messages coming through for you, or, you know, the thoughts that like, you know, I'll make it through this, but then, you know, you get hard on yourself again. Well, why didn't I do this? I should have done that. Like, I could have done more of this. Like, you're not allowing yourself to receive compassion, receive grace, receive, like, I don't know, the healing messages that Spirit wants to give you at times. And again, no judgment here, because I went through this personally for a very long time, Cancer. But, you know, I think with the imbalance of how much you put on yourself and what you expect of yourself is definitely taking a toll on you mentally. That Spirit wants you to kind of ease up on a bit. And with the Six of Pentacles, like, again, do what you can, but if you know there's not much else more to do, stop worrying about it. And again, it's a process. It's going to take time. But by at least trying to say, all right, I did that for the day. Now what am I going to do to, you know, balance out? Should I take a bath? Should I go on a walk? Should I call my friend? What will make me, you know, recharge and fill up that I've been neglecting in a way? Tell me more about the Six of Swords in reverse. Eight of Wands. Yeah, the speed is really throwing someone off. It's very, very clear here. So, you know, what you think is happening with the Six of Swords is that, you know, there's a lack of progression. Things aren't moving forward in the way you thought, in the way you idealized, in the way you even planned for. And there could even been something that is going out of plan that is throwing you off, right? But with the Eight of Wands, Sagittarius energy, by the way, like, with what's being avoided, or what has to be replanned, what has to be rethought out of, I think is actually an advantage in the way where Spirit's giving you more creative ideas, more creative thoughts that will take you to a better place than your original idea was going to take you. So it's almost a way to re-inspire you, like, Cancer, you could go further with this actually, which is why we want you to kind of consider maybe the flow of this and why it may be a little choppy. It's because maybe there's a better way, and a way that we want you to put yourself out there more. Like, you have good ideas, you have creative visions, you have means to take this even further than what you're giving yourself credit for. And again, like, it's everything I think that you can have hope and faith in, but it's hard when it's not going in the direction you thought it would. But I think Spirit is kind of sending you downloads, or sending you ideas and sending you revelations that are meant to kind of pull you out of this a lot faster than what you view possible currently. So any, you know, rapid thoughts or any kind of aha moments, don't ignore those. I think it's going to help you out of some sort of stagnancy that you're experiencing. Not automatically, right? Because we still have incubation. But again, it is leading you towards the right direction of trying to follow those brand new ideas, out of the box type of ideas that Spirit wants you to consider greatly. Because you're meant to stand out, Cancer, period, in this lifetime. Okay, then with the Page of Cups, we have the Five of Cups. So very strong Scorpio energy here. If you have strong Scorpio in your chart, I highly suggest checking out the Scorpio reading to see if there's messages for you. And then the Knight of Swords. Okay, yeah. So Cancer, what Spirit wants you to focus on when you've already done everything you could is to come to terms with or soothe any feelings around your own disappointment. You know, again, like I'm getting this feeling of, you know, it's my fault. I didn't do this right. I could have taken this opportunity. I didn't. Those are feelings that are being harbored within you that are no longer helpful, are no longer applicable. And I think, you know, with the Page of Cups, you need to find ways to kind of just, you can recognize when you're disappointed, you can recognize when you're sad, but I think some of you guys stay in that for too long, and not only do you stay in it, you come up with reasons as to why to emphasize, you know, feelings of guilt or shame or embarrassment or failure. So Spirit wants you to explore maybe ways to kind of, again, soothe yourself and give yourself compassion. And to find even maybe spiritual ways to do this, like, you know, maybe go to a Reiki healer, go to a spiritual mentor, go to someone that can kind of show you new ways of opening up your perspective and how you kind of treat yourself, view yourself, or view the process of where your life's going. That is meant to expand you out of this Five of Cups hole that some of you guys have fallen in, which we all fall in time to time. But we have the Knight of Bats. So Knight of Swords and traditional tarot Gemini energy. So I do feel this is like your spirit team letting you know that the process and the timeline of the 5D is doing what it can, and they are fighting for you. They are advocating for you. They are doing everything they can and in the power of. They're very protective of you, okay? And they just know your intentions are good, which is what's worth fighting for. So Spirit wants you to know that this is definitely recognized, definitely seen, and definitely taking into action. But others of you, if that's not so much the message you resonate with, then it's definitely, you know, before you can go into your next project or go into the next step, realizing, you know, when you're prepared mentally, emotionally, and physically, and when what you have to do to be in all three of those before you can take that next step is implemental in the success of this. So before you have these major changes and before you take that step, really prepare yourself first. And that doesn't mean, you know, again, you have to better your skills. It means like emotionally tend to yourself before you take that next step. And then you'll be on it, and then you'll be razor sharp, and then you will be accurate. And every shoot you try to shoot, or yeah, every shot you try to shoot in order to land to where you want to go. Yeah, I love that. Okay. Let's go ahead and pull some more cards. Tell me more of what Cancer needs to hear right now, Spirit. Opportunity to forgive. And these koalas are so cute. I wonder if some of you guys have a connection to koalas, koala energy. But yeah, I don't know, just a need to kind of take life a little bit more slowly, to you know, enjoy the moments that you have instead of trying to pressure yourself into what you should do more of. But it says, this situation brings you the opportunity to heal, grow, and release negative patterns. Hold the intention of seeing the other person's inner divine light and goodness. We will help you release unforgiving thoughts, feelings, and energies and lift you to a higher place of peace and compassion. So a lot of you guys, this is towards yourself. I feel it very clearly here. And, you know, being someone that I feel I can even relate to this reading myself, I came from a background that was very, very critical. I think at the time, my parents, grandparents thought that what they were doing was inspiring me, making me hard, like just push through it, but very much critical. And I think when you grow up with a highly critical environment, you will always have that voice then of like the criticism, of the judgment. And I think some of you guys may still hold either that against you, or even just, I wish I had more support. I wish I had, parents or siblings or friends that didn't judge me, that didn't shun me, that didn't, make me feel this way, to where now I'm afraid to give myself a chance. Something here within yourself, within the beliefs of yourself, beliefs of your capabilities, needs to be healed, Cancer. And part of that is through forgiveness. Now, this is my disclaimer for forgiveness, because I know it's a hot topic for some people. Forgiveness, truly, I believe, is the only way we fully let go. Forgiveness is not about saying, yeah, that was totally fine, I'm over it now, cool. It's about saying, I will not let this person's effect on me, or this situation's effect on me, no longer hold me back from being myself, from pursuing what I want to do. I will let that go in the past. I will forgive the situation and what it's done to me, because no longer will it define how I move forward. That's how I view forgiveness. And it took a long time. And it took a lot of deciphering, what I was hearing about forgiveness and kind of making it my own. And you can do that in any way you want to, Cancer. But there's either forgiveness for the self, or from someone or something, or from the process or the timing or spirit or whatever. There has to be forgiveness within that in order for this to flow more so powerfully for you, to have the best possible outcome for you. Tell me more about this energy for Cancer. High Priestess of Fire, number 5. Okay, so some of you have strong fire in your chart, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, but even if you don't have traditionally strong air signs in your chart, we all have the elements, and Spirit wants you to connect to your fire element. So Spirit wants you to be inspired. Spirit wants you to be excited and find things to be inspired and excited towards. Playful though, playful, confident, self-assured, focused, but not being too hard on yourself, to not harbor too much that isn't meant to be there anymore, to let that burn. Cancer, there's a fire in you that Spirit recognizes, but I think you don't fully trust, or maybe afraid of, because of certain past disappointments. But you have the guts, you have the confidence, the will. Once you kind of unpack it all and remind yourself of it, I think this is what will be enlightened in you, Cancer, that will not be burned down. I don't think you ever can fully be taken down. You've been through some rough patches in your life before, and you've always made out of it. But for some reason, some of you guys still beat yourselves up over it, or still let the situation beat yourself up. Take your power back again, Cancer. Wow, I love that. Tell me more about what you want to tell Cancer right now, Spirit. Okay, this card really wants to come out, so let's see what this one is. Magic Guardian, yes. And it says, unlock the magic within. You have magic. It is there. It is like a humming force. It is a powerful force. And some of you have discredited your own magic because of what hasn't shown up, or what didn't happen or unfold. Put that to the side. Now is the present focus you need to do. What can I do? Take care of. Once that's over with, how can I heal myself? How can I inspire myself? How can I recharge myself so I could be right back into it? Because yeah, some of you definitely experience burnout. And if you have burnout, you don't have the fuel to, persist in your daily activities of what you need to do, to have that fuel of hope and passion that motivates us towards what we want to accomplish. So Cancer, yeah, I think you are a lot more powerful than you may believe right now. But I think that energy, as much as you take care of yourself, as much as you have that grit and that determination to still persevere, this fire magic energy is going to become more important, more apparent to you as you give yourself that compassion, as you give yourself that grace, as you give yourself that means to just get back up and keep going, period. That's all that matters. It's just that one more step. It's bringing up this I think I heard this in a podcast one time, and it was someone that was alcoholic for a long time, but was sober for like 20 years or whatever. And the person was like, how did you do it? And they were like, I didn't look at it as, 50 years down the line. Every day I woke up, I said, all right, this will be one more day I don't drink. The next day, this will be one more day I don't drink. And that just helped the person, realizing it doesn't have to be this overwhelming grand scheme of things, but just taking it day by day. I can do this. I'll get this done. One more day of doing this, then the next day, one more doing of that, I think will help you. I hope that makes sense. I'm trying to verbalize it the best way I can, but kind of, allowing yourself to go in the present moment day by day than just having this overwhelming force of what you need to have and what you have to build towards for your whole greater purpose of life. You have your whole lifetime, Cancer, and it will be accomplished by your sheer grit, will, talent, determination. But to just make it a little bit easier for you, take it day by day. All right, Cancer. Let's go ahead and get one more card for you guys, and this is going to be a blessing card, and we'll see what your blessing is, what Spirit wants to bless you with. What is Cancer's message of blessing here? A blessing of the waters, number 4. So fire and water. I mean, you are a water sign. So I think Spirit wants to bless you with the fire of the determination of your, I wouldn't say carefree per se, but just lightness, lightheartedness, joy, confidence, but also with your feelings of, the lower feelings that you've been having and harboring. Spirit wants you to really focus on maybe why those are still there and what you still need to forgive, what you need to let go. And doing this healing work, although it's difficult, it is so important for you, Cancer. And I think by kind of clearing out the murkiness of the waters and to filtering it into some clearer waters, having, all right, yeah, this was a hard day for me. I'm just going to take back to heal myself, to give myself self-love is okay. You need to know having those days is okay, and to have that view on yourself. It's not babying yourself. It's not giving yourself excuses. It's giving you the space to let yourself feel in that moment, because if you suppress those feelings, it will build up to this overwhelming phase again that you're currently going through. So Spirit wants you to give a blessing on your feelings, on your emotions, on how you handle them. And you're going to be just fine, Cancer. So thank you so, so much for joining me for this reading. I really hope it resonated with you. I hope it's giving you the clarity, insight, healing, and guidance in regards to whatever's happening in your life and whatever you need to hear right now to give you the most inspiration, powerful insight, and encouragement I could possibly give through your spirit guides. And if it has, please let me know. Drop a comment below, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe. I love you, Cancer, very much, and I'll see you next time. Take care, Cancer.